Yeah. We're live. Yes. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, you're welcome to the August edition of our monthly series. I believe you're excited. If you're excited, can you kindly comment or drop a comment on the chat box? Let's get to know your name. Let's get to know your location or where you are currently joining us from. We apologize for the little delay. It wasn't intentional in any way. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, good evening. I can see Anna Grace. Good evening. At this junction, can you kindly comment? Let's know who is with us. And in addition to your name and your location, we would love to know your expectation for the series tonight. What's your expectation? Our speaker is well prepared to dish out value, and I'm very sure that you are not here by accident. There is a knowledge gap you intend to bridge. That is why you are here. And definitely that knowledge gap will be bridged tonight because when ignorance comes in contact with knowledge or information, ignorance must leave because you are now enlightened, right? Yeah, so I'm waiting. Good evening, good evening, good evening. You can share the live stream. Those who you know are supposed to be here, those who you know will need the value that we're about to dish out. Kindly share the live stream to them. And as you join us, your name, your location, and your expectation. If possible, you can also start sending in your questions so we can be as fast as possible in our delivery tonight because we don't have so much time, right? But we want to try as much as possible to utilize the time that we have so the session can be as impactful as possible. So share the live stream. Someone who is supposed to be here but is not here at the moment, send a link to them so they will join us live for this month's series. So it's a JAPA series. Yeah, I can see Joel Kishimi. You're welcome. Your name and your current location, your name and your current location. Let's know where you are joining us from, and also you can add it. You can add a question. You can send in your questions. Some people have ready-made questions already. Whatever that might be bothering your mind, we are here to see how to demystify whatever question or whatever might you may have about scholarships, about fellowships, about grant applications. That's why we are here. And that is why we have our guest speaker with us tonight. He'll be speaking to us directly from the United States. So we're not bringing someone who is just armed with knowledge, but someone who is both armed with knowledge and also experienced with has an experience with the discourse for tonight. Yes, your name, your location. Okay, Joel Kishimi said Lagos State, you're welcome. Joy Olga, you're welcome. Anu Grace, you're welcome. In a moment of time, our guest speaker will be with us, looking at leveraging scholarships, fellowships, and grant applications for global opportunities. That is where we are here, and that is what we intend to discuss. Okay, Joy Olga from Kano State, you're welcome. It's so good to have you with us. Share the live stream to someone who you know will need this. Probably a student, probably an ex-student, maybe a working class person, because it's not limited to just scholarship for postgraduates. It touches every aspect of life. So for scholarship, there are a lot of scholarships. A lot of persons are armed with information, like I said. Some persons are armed with information, but they do not know how to apply those information. Some persons the best they will tell you is I want to japa, I want to leave this country, I want to seek for greener pastures, But beyond that, when you ask them, okay, do you know the relevant documents you will need for processing? They are not armed with the knowledge. So the session tonight will arm certain persons with the knowledge needed for them to thrive, to be able to gain some of these scholarships, gain access, not just gain access to it, right? So it's one thing to have access to the information, it's another thing to know your route throughout the application process, and it's another thing for you to be onboarded, know the documents necessary for you to process your visa, maybe a work visa, whatever kind of visa. So all these things will be broken down for us tonight. That's for scholarship, coming to fellowships. I know of a friend who recently traveled to Switzerland, right? So it was true. I think she got it through a grant, through volunteering. So volunteering is powerful. It's another gate that can open you up to global opportunities. So scholarships can open you up to global opportunities. Fellowships can open you up to global opportunities. Grants can open you up to global opportunities, as well as volunteering can open you up to global opportunities. So you're welcome. If you are just joining us, your name, your current location, your expectation from the series tonight. Yes, your expectation and all. It will also help the guest speaker to let's say add that to what he intends to share, right? If you have questions, like I said, some persons may have ready-made questions. You can send in your questions, and at the end of the session tonight, it will be rightly attended to. So just give me about 30 seconds. Let me send a message to the guest speaker. Uh, so if you are just joining us, your name, your location, probably your expectation, because definitely you won't be here if you do not have an expectation. Your name, your location, your expectation for the series tonight, for the webinar tonight, for the conference tonight. Yeah. In a moment of time, the guest speaker will be with us, will be with us, will be with us. Yes. So there are platforms where you can leverage on to get these scholarships, these opportunities. And Leadspiration, we try our best, I think every Tuesday, to share this platform or some of this information. So members of the community will have access to this information and can give guidance as often or as frequent as possible, if need be, on how to navigate your way through this route for scholarships, for grants, and for fellowships. Yeah, so Inspiration is a good platform that can help you leverage. Right. If you are not on Inspire Nation, I think the link to the platform will be shared on the comment section, in the comment section rather, so that you can have access to these informations. And for this month, we're looking at, like I said, is a JAPA series episode looking at leveraging scholarships, fellowships, and grants applications for global opportunities. It's a monthly series, meaning we'll be having sections like this or sessions like this from the month of January even till this time. And from next month to November, the narrative is shifting from the monthly series to a pre-lead conferences for certain persons who are aware or know our itinerary as inspiration. We know that as we step into the Ember month, right, our focus broadens, we broaden our horizon, right, and begin to have a pre-conference series in anticipation for biggest event for the year, which always happen in Port Harcourt. That is the lead conference. Lead conference. So from next month, you begin to see seasoned experts teaching value on stuff regarding relevance to a young person, to a promising young professional. So everybody is on to benefit from that session. So our guest speaker will be with us in a moment of time. Yes, Alex E. Okoye said nice. Yes, nice. You're welcome. You're welcome to. the live stream tonight. You're welcome to the live stream tonight. Like I said earlier, if you know someone who you definitely know will need this session, kindly share the live stream to that person or to those people so they will not miss out of the value that will be dished out tonight. Our speaker is well prepared, is armed with the necessary let me say the necessary tools, right, and necessary information. And tonight, definitely, without any iota of doubt, I trust he will give us the very best, and also to be open to subsequent or further questions that may arise in the course of the session, right? So it doesn't end here. We're not just coming to teach you on how you can leverage, right? But we can also go the extra mile to guide you through the process to see that it goes from the application stage to the congratulatory stage. So Joshua Okpanachi, you're welcome. You're welcome to the live stream tonight. We also need your location. Let's know where you are joining from. Yeah, and possibly or in addition, your expectation for the conference or for the meeting tonight. Yes, your expectation. In a moment of time, our guest speaker will be with us. All right, as guest speaker is with us already. I call him President Khan, my very own leader. I've known President Khan for, I think, it should be going to 6 years now, if not, yeah, about 6 years now. And expect something mind blowing. Expect something mind blowing. So I'll be reading his profile so we can start in a moment. I'll be reading his profile. Let me add him to the stage. Yeah, President Kanya, welcome. So please give me a few minutes to read your citation to our guests. Yes, so Moses Blessing from Bayelsa State. You're welcome, man. Yes, so meet our speaker. So Nehemiah Famchikwere is the Vice President of Graduate and Professional Student Association at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, where he advocates for graduates and professional students by helping shape initiatives that strengthen student success, research, and campus engagement. He works closely with the GPSA president to advance the association's strategic priorities, represent graduate students across university committees, and lead efforts that expand funding opportunities and improve the graduate student experience. Nehemiah is pursuing a dual Masters of Business Administration and Masters of Science in Management Information Systems at UNLV after earning his Masters of Science in Construction and Infrastructure Management in the year 2025. He also serves as a graduate assistant in the graduate education in the graduate assistant in the graduate college research programs and compliance unit, supporting graduate students education through program administration, data analysis, and more. So his profile is quite loaded, right? Let me try to summarize. So beyond his academic and professional pursuits, Nehemiah is deeply committed to leadership development and community impact. He serves as the president of Leadspire Institute, an organization dedicated to equipping young people with leadership, project management, and workforce development skills. Through Leadspire Institute, he has helped, trained, and mentored over hundreds of emerging leaders across Nigeria and beyond. So at UNLV, Nehemiah serves as the vice chair of the African Student Alliance Constitution Committee and Electoral Committee, serves as the vice president for the International Students Organization and chair of the GPSA scholarship funding programs. I believe you should be putting your hands together for our speaker before it comes up. This is no small feat at all. See that his contribution have earned several recognitions, including the UNLV President's Award, the Patricia Sastuni Scholarship, the Rebel Grand Slam 3MT Audience Award, and GPSC Scholarship Research Award. As an international as an international graduate student, Nehemiah understands the unique opportunities and challenges faced by students pursuing advanced education far from home. His leadership is grounded in the belief that student government should be accessible, transparent, and action oriented. He is passionate about strengthening communication between GPSA and the graduate community, expanding access to research and professional development through funding, supporting student well-being, and fostering an inclusive campus where every graduate student has the opportunity to thrive. I would say with Jesus joy, please join me to welcome our guest speaker for tonight, Sir Engineer Nehemiah. You're welcome on board, sir.
Yeah, thank you, President Leadspiration, President OKC. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Um,
You're
Also
welcome.
to everyone who is present, I believe they can hear me clearly. I want to say thank you for being
Yeah,
here.
loud and clear.
Yeah. So basically, first of all, I'm actually excited. I'm really excited to be here this afternoon. Oh, sorry, this evening. So afternoon here, evening over there. So I'm excited to be happy or to be here this evening. But before we get into the scholarship talk, before we get into the fellowship talk or maybe the grants talk, I want to tell you something. And what I want to tell you this evening is this, that my journey didn't just happen. It's not something that just happened as a result of, I just woke up one morning and I saw myself where I am today. But the truth is because I discovered something that is so magical when it comes to the matter of scholarship, when it comes to the matter of maybe you want to get fellowship or you want to get grants. Um, it happened because I was able to learn how to identify opportunities. A lot of us, we have opportunities, but sometimes we fail to understand the right opportunity. At the same time, also, I was able, not just that I was able to identify the right opportunity, but at the same time, also, I was able to position myself. I'm somebody who, by the grace of God, I understand what it means to position yourself for global recognition. And I learned that so early, and I've been positioning myself for a very long time. And not just me now finding the opportunity, not just me positioning myself, but at the same time, in as much as I've positioned myself, the next thing I need to do, I need to make an application. I always apply. Whatever it may be, I must apply. And then whenever I've made that application, I don't just stop there. I keep learning. I learn from my applications. I learn from the mistakes I've made in the various applications I've submitted in the past. And then I keep on going. I keep going. I don't stop. I keep pushing. I keep chasing. So you heard from the moderator when he was reading my bio, he talked about my academic journey. I actually started my academic journey in University of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. I earned the Bachelor's of Civil and Environmental Engineering from the University of Port Harcourt. And I'm always proud to let people know that I was not the best student. I was not even one of the best students. I came out with a CGP of 2.99 out of 5.0. It wasn't because I was dull. It wasn't because I was a dullard. It wasn't because I was a non-entity or a failure. I don't understand things. But it's a result of some certain things beyond my control that happened to me. But I came out with 2.99. And then from there, I was able to pursue my master's. I did a lot of things, put things in place, checked how to make myself more competitive and stuff like that. And then I put in an application to the United States. And then I came over, and then in 2025, December, I earned my first master's. And like you heard, currently I'm involved in a dual degree now, where I'm doing an MBA at the same time an MIS. So, but when you look at the final picture, if you look at me today, if you look at the final picture, I want to understand that you might think everything just happened smoothly. It didn't happen smoothly. It didn't. There were applications. I made applications. Outside of the fact that I made applications, there were opportunities I didn't get. There are a lot of opportunities I didn't get. At the same time, also, there were things I didn't understand initially when I started this journey. There were moments also where I had to improve on my CV. If I wish I can maybe share my screen if it was possible. I don't know if it's possible. I would have shared my screen and then I would have shown you my first CV, the first CV I had when I left the university. And then at this point, show you my current CV. You will see the difference very clear. So it was a moment of improvement. I had to keep improving myself. Every year I kept on improving myself. And at the same time, also, I kept on rethinking how I have to present myself to people. And at the same time, also, I grew to understand what opportunity I was actually looking for. And whenever I see those things, I apply and I keep trying again. And that's what I want us to focus tonight. I'm not just here to talk about where we can find scholarship. Oh, so and so person, go here, go to this website, go to this place, and then you will see this and see that. Okay, this is where you get the scholarship. That's not just what I want to talk about here today. But I want you at the end of today's is this seminar or workshop or presentation, as it is being called, it is how do I become? So for you, how do you become the kind of person who is ready when an opportunity comes? So when you see the opportunity, will you be ready or you will not be ready? So what I want to do here is to ensure that you are the kind of person who is actually ready when that opportunity comes. Whichever opportunity you are looking for. Maybe you are looking for fellowship, maybe you are looking for grants, maybe you are looking for scholarship to United States. What I'm after is to what I'm going to say here this evening or this afternoon is how can you become that kind of person who is actually ready when that opportunity comes. So tonight we're going to do this differently. I've been very busy of late, so I never had time to prepare slides. So I'm going to just talk from my head. I don't really have slides at this point. I never had the time to sit down to prepare slides. So tonight we are going to do this differently. I don't want you to just listen to me. I want you to actually work with me. So please and please, if you have a sheet of paper, I want you to get a sheet of paper. If you have pen, get pen. So wherever you are, please, if it's your phone, you can use your phone to type what I want to say. If it's you're in your house and you have access to a book, to a sheet of paper, to a pen, please grab it now and then let's proceed. So the first thing I want to be talking about is this. I want to be talking about find it. So when I'm talking about find it, what comes to my mind is this. Or what I'm expecting from you is to ask yourself, where did this opportunity comes from? So all these opportunities we are talking about, scholarship, fellowship, grants, where do these opportunities, where did they actually come from? If I told you right now, for instance, let's say I speak to somebody who is present tonight, and I tell you that there are thousands of scholarships across the world. There are thousands of fellowships across the world. There are thousands of grants available across and around the world, around the globe. Where would you go to find them? Where do you think you want to go to find them? I know some of you, if it's something that we can communicate, and I ask this very question, one thing you're going to tell me is, oh, yeah, you might tell me Google. You might tell us, oh, let's open Google. Let's go and check Google. You will see the answers there in Google. We will see the scholarships on Google. We'll see the fellowships on Google. We'll see the grants on Google. Yes, no doubt. Google is very important when it comes to this process. Google is actually useful, or ChatGPT or whatever thing, very useful when it comes to the process. But the truth is, Google is not a strategy. It can never be a strategy. 6 sources. Tell you 6 sources where you can find these opportunities. 6 sources where you can find these opportunities. So you're not just going to Google thinking that you're going to see those informations there, but you are going to be deliberate to go look for them one after the other in these 6 sources. Now, number one is universities. When you are talking about fellowships, when you're talking about scholarships, when you're talking about grants, it is available in universities. Universities across the world. It is available. Now, and the various scholarships available in university is this, or rather this. We have the university scholarships, the one being given from from the university administration itself. We have the graduate assistantships. We have the research assistantships. We have the tuition waivers. We have the departmental funding. So for some people who what they are looking for is scholarships. Oh, I want to leave this country. I want to leave Nigeria because of the kind of government we are. Anyway, I'm a politician, so I say what I want to say. Anyway, I'm not scared of nobody. I'm scared of nobody. So based on the bad government and bad leadership we have today in the country, and people are looking at the suffering, people are looking at the cryings. There's no future, there's no hope for Nigerians, and they're like, oh, let me get out of this place and go find a better life. The truth is this: if you're looking for scholarship, maybe to pursue, you want to go abroad for your master's, for your PhD, or whatever thing, then this you can search for that in the universities. Now, you just have to go to each of those universities. First of all, which of the universities do you want to go? Which of the country do you want to go? Is it the United States? Is it Canada? Is it in the UK? Wherever. Know the university. And then when you know the university, you can now go to university. You can now look for the university scholarship. You can look for the grant assistantship. Like for me, where I am currently, I'm a grant assistant. That's the scholarship I had from Nigeria. I had the graduate assistantship. So my funding is not from the university. My funding is not based on research assistantship. My funding is not based on tuition waivers. My funding is not even from departments. That is why sometimes now you can see I'm done my first master's, I'm doing second and third masters now. I don't need to stress myself to make applications because I work in the non-academic building or non-academic organization or department or units of the university, and they need my expertise. So even if I decide to stay there to school to have 10 degrees, 10 PhD, 10 masters, but the fact I want to keep schooling, they are going to keep paying my tuition fee. They're going to keep taking care of my living expenses. So the thing is this: which one are you looking for? You go to universities and you get those things. So there are a lot of universities scattered across the world. So if you want, maybe you can reach out to us later. I can give you about 60 universities in the United States where you can apply. You go there, you do your research on them, and then you know the one that suits you based on your course of study. But specifically, what you are going to be looking for is university scholarships, grant assistantship, research assistantship, tuition waivers, and departmental fundings. And some of them you have to code email. I can't say everything here. I don't have time, so I might not be able to go deep to say some certain things. But this is just like the basic foundation. Now, the second sources is what we call governments. Now, when we talk about governments, there are a lot of government scholarships. Either these scholarships are funded by the government, some are funded by the educational ministries, some are funded by maybe international development programs, as the case may be. Now, there's some scholarship which I believe you should go. When it comes to United States, there's a scholarship we call the Fulbright Scholarship. It is handled by the Department of State, United States Department of State, United States, Fulbright, Fulbright, Fulbright Scholarship. It's a global scholarship. From wherever you find yourself, you can apply for that. Also, the US Department of State also gives a scholarship that they call Gilman Scholarship, Gilman, Gilman Scholarship. And then the third one is the one from the United Kingdom. I believe some of you have heard of Erasmus. You might have heard of Chevney. You might have heard of Abami. These are UK scholarships. The 3 Commonwealth scholarships, 4 of them. I just mentioned 4 now. 4 of them. You can, and most of these ones, it's actually master's program they fund, fully funded master's program. Some of this scholarship covers your flight and stuff like that. Then we have that of the German government. A lot of people are most focused. They focus themselves maybe based on the United States. They focus based on the United Kingdom. But Germany also have scholarship that they call the DAAD. So this scholarship also, you can also look for that if you want to go to German. You want to go to Germany rather. Maybe to even help yourself, you can learn German. You can find a way to learn German online so that you can be able to boost your CV if you want to apply to Germany through the government or Germany government scholarship, which is the DAD. Now we also have Australia. So Australia have their own scholarship. Those things, these informations, you can just go there, go on Google, type Australia awards. You will see a lot of awards. A lot of awards has to do with scholarships for and development focus areas for students, maybe masters, maybe PhD and stuff like that. And then for France, we have the the Eiffel France scholarship. I think the spelling should be AIFFEL. EIFFEL, excellent scholarship. That's in France. We have people now who have a friend who is in France, she's doing well in France, got a fully funded. So people are getting those things. It is for you to do your research on these things and get necessary what information. Now the next thing is the foundation. So the third source is foundation and NGOs. There are a lot of foundation and NGOs scattered across the world today. Now, I believe you have heard of the Gates Foundation. Gates Foundation, they sponsor when it comes to, for those who are in the health field, for those who are in the research, that are looking for research grants, right? You need a research grant, you need development grants. You can contact Gates Foundation, go online, go on Gates Foundation, reach out to them, sell yourself, write your proposal and stuff like that. And then anyway, I don't know how we can do that because I will not be here to I won't have the time to start teaching you how to write grant and stuff like that. But these are things we can discuss after today. So basically, I'm just giving you the basics. So, but Gates Foundation gives grant, and we have Ford Foundation. For those who know Ford, you know Ford, like Henry Ford. Ford Foundation gives grants also. That grant is majorly for people who are trying to do what they call social justice, right? Social justice, and then those who are looking for funding when it comes to development. And then we have the MacArthur Foundation. Now, the MacArthur Foundation is a grant also for research and also for international development. Then we have the Welcome, yeah, the Welcome organization also. Basically, these ones they're actually in the UK. They're in the UK. For those who are into the biomedical field, like biomedical engineers, those who who are studying biomedical and stuff like that, yeah, they give research grants to biomedical students. And then for those who want to be innovative based on the biomedical engineering stuff like that, you can reach out to Welcome. They give grants also to students, and they can support your master's, support your PhD program and stuff like that. And we have the I think I might forget anyone again. Um, I think the Open Society Foundation. Yes, the Open Society Foundation. That one too is global. Basically, the Open Society Foundation is more of based on civil society, right? So, let's say you want to go for based on what you want to achieve based on master's level PhD has to do with civil society programs and stuff like that. For those who want to ensure that they advocate for better stuff for citizens and basically so, the Open Society Foundation also helps in that. Please, I just have to rush. I don't have time. The next one is professional organizations. So we have professional organizations also, but basically, I don't. You might not really, unless you really involve yourself, because I know currently in Nigeria, the American Society of Civil Engineers is actually in Nigeria. So there are branches in Nigeria, where even as a graduate student, you can actually get a kind of membership, like a student member, even though you're in Nigeria, as as if you're in the civil engineering field, right? To be a student member of the American Society of Civil Engineers, there's something like that, and then you can even proceed to become a full member, right, of the American Society of Civil Engineers. So I believe other fields also have something like that in Nigeria. I think the IEEE has something like that. The ASCE has something like that. The civil engineering has something like that. We have, I think, ACS, American Chemical Society, has something like that. The ACM has something like that also. That's the Association for Computing Machinery. They have something like that. I think that's what I know. So if you involve yourself in all these American association that are within reach in Nigeria based on your fields, they also sponsor, they give scholarships, they give fellowships, they give funding for students to come over to United States to study. So it depends. Sometimes they give this opening as part of the association grants and funding and scholarship and fellowship to students to be able to guide them to improve in their career. Now, the other one is companies. So you can actually, so companies is also there. So basically, it's not just the universities, it's not just government, it's not just professional association. You can actually do companies. Yeah, so we have Microsoft sponsor. Yeah, Microsoft they sponsor when it comes to fellowship. Microsoft sponsors for fellowship. Google sponsors for PhD fellowship. Google sponsors for research awards. Google sponsors for research scholarship and this thing. I know of Meta, Meta, Apple, even ExxonMobil. They actually sponsor. But I know ExxonMobil actually sponsors when it comes to STEM scholarships. For those in the STEM field, that's either you're in science, you're in technology, you're engineering and stuff like that, management. They actually sponsor. So you can actually use the company route. And then the most important route that I don't joke with is what I call the people and network. To be sincere, you see things like this, like what I've said is a whole lot of information. You cannot navigate these things by yourself. You can't navigate it yourself. That's the truth. You can't navigate it yourself. Even if you might try your best, but I think you need input from people who have been there to guide you, to direct you, right? So number 6 is people and networks. People underrate this thing. They underrate it a lot, but it is very key. It is very key. If not because of the ban placed by Donald Trump, because actually currently Nigerians are part of the ban. So I believe maybe you saw a news today. 79 countries have been lifted from the ban and stuff like that. Basically, that's 79 or 78 countries. Actually, those one has to do with immigration visas, based on immigrant visas, right? And not non. So, but when you want to come abroad, United States to study, for instance, you need the non-immigrant visa, which is now the F1, the J1, and the rest of them. So for now, the F1 visas, Nigeria is actually part of the ban. So if not because of that, I would have had a lot of friends, a lot of my family members and some of my friends who would have been in the United States today. Yeah, because they got funding, they got fully funded admission with their scholarship. So what I'm trying to say, there are many. What I'm trying to say is this: people underrate these particular sources or this particular source, people and network. But if you have somebody who is there, you have a relationship with somebody, the person can guide you through. Even before this information gets publicly, like I remember my best friend who is here, that was how it happened. I just got an information that, oh, they are looking for so and so and so thing and stuff like that. I just reached out to him. I said, guy, I gave him every information he did. I said, take this information, take these emails. This is the director email. Oh, this is when you write an email and send to me. Let me see what you have written. He wrote everything. I looked at it. I said, no, change it, add this, remove this, add this, remove this. And he did that and he sent it. And then something. The director was like, oh, I don't think I want to interview you. I already have a lot of people on ground, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, that's fine. He told me, I said, don't worry, that's fine. I reached out to the director myself. I said that I told somebody to reach out to you. This person, this is who he is, stuff like that. I explained everything. I had to sell him off. And then that was it. She gave him an opportunity to be interviewed and stuff like that. And he got it. So what I'm trying to say is that there are some informations that will not be in the open. They will not be in the public. But if you have somebody who is there, so for instance, let's say you want to go to Harvard University. The beautiful thing you should do is to go on LinkedIn and find somebody who is a resource. Find somebody who understands the integrity of the application process in Harvard. Connect with that person on LinkedIn and let the person know why you connected with him or her, and then let the person guide you. Once there's an information that has not been released to the public, that person is going to get it. If that person is very, very serious, the person is going to get that information and give it to you before it gets out to the public. That's the truth. That's how it works. So please start now. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, please have a LinkedIn account. Get one. Get a LinkedIn account. To be sincere, I think my time is already up. I don't even know. President Caleb, this is only 103 and I've not even gone anywhere. Should I continue or I should stop? Please let me know. Okay, it's not, since you can't hear me. So basically that's it. So get somebody So that's one of the easiest way. Just find somebody who is there. Do a research on that particular on your program. Let's say, for instance, you want to go for a master's in civil engineering. Do a research on that. Reach out to the and then find a school, and then go on LinkedIn, find somebody who is already there studying. Reach out to the person, introduce yourself, and let this person mentor you and guide you. It is very easy. You're going to save yourself a lot of stress. And you don't have to put your egg in one basket. You don't have to just say, oh, it's going to be in this one school, right? It's going to be, oh, in UNLV, it's going to be in Harvard, just one. No, you can go do your research, have 60 schools in mind, do your research on these 60 schools, and then decide, okay, out of these 60 schools, based on the program I'm going for, five of them, get those five, and then go on LinkedIn, find people, resource. Like me, for instance, now let's say you want to come to UNLV, for instance. UNLV, my school, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, does they do your they offer your course, maybe your master's program, the master's and course you want to go for the master the PhD degree or stuff like that. Yeah, I'm a very good resource. There's nothing in UNLV I don't know how it works. There's nothing I don't know about UNLV. I know everything about UNLV, virtually everything about UNLV, based on the student governments, based on because I work closely with the university administration, so I know everything. Even some things they want to implement very soon that is going to affect a lot of international students, affect guide assistants. I'm really aware it's not out in the public yet, but I know those things because I find myself in executive meetings. I sit down in university leadership meetings and I get this information. So I believe every school has somebody like that who has more information, who has more knowledge. Get those five schools or 10 schools as the case may be. Go on LinkedIn, look for people in those schools and reach out to them, build a relationship with them, and then start off from there. So that is it. The second thing is know if you fit. One thing is to so based on what I've said now, and I know you have a piece of paper. Let me just do this. And based on what I've said now, I know you have a piece of paper. I just want you to write one thing you want to achieve internationally. Let's say yours is master's degree. Just write it down. Let's say yours is PhD. Maybe let's say it's internship. Let's say it's research opportunity. Let's say it's fellowship. Let's say it's conference. Let's say it's professional certification. Let's say maybe it's you need money for startup funds or something like that. Write it down. What is that one thing you want to do internationally? And now I want you to now write a kind of 3 words that will describe that particular goal. Let's say, for instance, your goal is you did a master's degree in the United States. You can write that as your goal. Oh, master's degree in the United States. And then maybe you can now have 3 keywords for that. So you can have 3 keywords for that. So one of the keyword can be masters. The second keyword can be, let's say, United States of America, that is USA. The other one can be fully funded because certainly you don't want a partial funding. You want a fully funded admission or scholarship or grant or whatever, or fully funded scholarship rather, and then maybe a fully funded fellowship. So that's it. So now the next thing I want to talk about is know if you are fit. There are a lot of opportunities out there. A lot of opportunities out there. But the most important thing is this. I want you to understand how to read an opportunity. Let's say, for instance, while you are doing the research, while you are doing your research on the various schools or departments or scholarships, adverts you saw online or stuff like that. Now, eligibility is not the same thing as competitiveness. So you might be eligible, but you are not competitive. It's a two different thing. So let's say, for instance, they might say something like, maybe in that particular application. So there are some applications you will see. Some might tell you bachelor's degree is needed. Some might tell you, oh, it's a master's that is needed. Some might tell you, oh, a master's in so and so and so. They might be more specific. It depends. So let's say, for instance, they say a bachelor's degree is required and you have an HND. Now, that's a problem. That doesn't mean that everyone with a bachelor's degree is actually equally kind of competitive, but you need to understand that there are separate requirements for all of this. So when you go through an application or an advert, or you do your research in schools, go online, you check what's the university website you want to look out for and stuff like that. There are some that might tell you, you might see the language and it says must have. I just want to tell you how to sift out some information that you don't need. Some might tell you must have. And if they tell you must have, for instance, if you don't have it, please don't apply. Don't stress yourself. Don't apply. Rather look for those ones that have what, based on the credentials you have, they already have those things. Let's say, for instance, some might tell you, oh, this is the required degree. Oh, you must have so and so citizenship. Oh, this is the age requirement. Some might say, oh, this is the GPA threshold. Some might say, oh, this is the field of study that should apply. Some might say, oh, this is this person, whoever want the potential candidates must have XYZ work experience, whichever. Please, once you see something like that, it's a must have. Don't bother yourself. Don't stress yourself. But you might see some that might not say must have, but they might say should have. They might say, so if you look at those things, they might tell you should have. Because when I came on board, when I came to United States and I was looking for internship, I made almost 300 applications for internship then. I suffered. Now, because everything I see, I wanted applying. As I'm seeing things, I'm applying. I never understood how to filter. Oh no, this one is must have. Oh, this one is should have. Oh, this one is nice to have. This one will strengthen. This one. If I don't have it, don't apply. If you have this, it will strengthen the application. And even if you don't have it, you can apply. But it is okay if you can get it. Stuff like I never knew those things, and I was just there suffering myself. Made almost 300 applications. But today, even if I want to make any application, I might just do two, just do three, just do four, do five, or maybe 10 as the case may be. I don't need to stress myself. I look for that particular advert or that particular stuff that I'm so sure I have what it takes. So if you see a must have and you don't have it, please, I would advise you, don't bother yourself. But if you feel, some of us will have faith. We have faith. The Bible said if you can have faith as that of a mustard seed, you can see unto this mountain move, and it will move. If you have faith, if it's not based on the spiritual, there's no problem. You can go ahead with your faith and God will help you. But if you see should have, this will actually strengthen your application, right? It will actually strengthen your application. So let's say, for instance, they might tell you, oh, maybe you need to have leadership experience or leadership stuffs. You might have, they might ask you if you have leadership research experience. They might talk about volunteering experience. Might talk about relevant work experience, stuff like this. Might be should have. Good and fine if you have them, if you don't have them. But I think now is the time to build. That's one of the things I did that helped me. I told you I came out at 2.99. 2.99 that's my bachelor's degree in University of Port Harcourt, Civil and Environmental Engineering. 2.9 out of 5.0. But I became so competitive not because of my GPA. Yes, I'm just like now. That must have. They must have said you must have 2.75 GPA minimum out of a 4.0. For instance, my school now, UNLV, if you want to go for a master's degree, you must have 2.75 out of a 4.0. My 2.99 could not, even if when I converted it to 5.0 scale, from 5.0 scale to 4.0 scale, I was having 2.3 something, thereabout. But that's where, if you have money, you can go for West evaluations. I went for West. I sent my transcript to West for evaluation, and they evaluated it, and that was how so they converted the 4.0. So some courses, I had some lower grades in courses that was actually irrelevant. So they took out those courses, and when they took out those courses and then they converted my distance to 4.0, I was in 2.89. So that was how I was able to have the must have to make an application. But the things that actually strengthened my application was actually my leadership experience. Wherever you find yourself, don't joke with your leadership experience. As I am today, God has helped me to a point where I've had a lot of leadership experience. And I'm going to tell you, it paves way for me. I don't struggle. Unless God is saying, Nema, this is not your own. I don't struggle for things. Wherever I go to, because of the leadership experience, because of how exposed I am, because of how vast I've been. It's you find yourself, you can, when somebody look at your CV, look at what you have done, look at your achievements, it's very easy to sound convincing to this person that, oh, don't worry, this person can do something. So please get leadership experience, get research experience for those who want to go for research stuffs, get volunteering experience, volunteer, and then get relevant work. But another thing that will distinguish you is do things that will give you award, do things that will help you get publications, do things that will give you international experience, do things that will give you unique projects, and do things that will give you community impact. Stuffs like that. So this thing distinguishes you. So please and please, I don't have time. I think I need to stop here. I don't want to, because I like keeping to time. This is already 1:14. I know I was supposed to end by 1. I think 1 p.m. about. Sorry, 1 p.m. in the United States, but I think 9 p.m. in Nigeria. So so that's just it. And so if you get all these things, when you are putting those things in your CV, please and please show them evidence of these things. Let them understand that this and this and this and this. Oh, I actually did this. I actually led this. These are the people who benefited from it, and then this is what changed. Have those things. Have those things. Like for me, I chair the sponsorship committee in my school. So there's what we call the sponsorship program funds. So I actually chair that committee in University of Nevada, Las Vegas. So out of over 6,000 students we have, graduate students we have, I chair that committee. And we have monthly applications from students who want to go for research, they want to go for conferences, they need grants for maybe their research, their thesis, dissertation, thesis, or they want to go present something. So they send applications to us. Their criteria, their guidelines, their rubrics they must follow. There's an operating policy they will follow. We get all these applications from them. I have 13 people in my committee. So plus myself as a chair, we have 14. We sit down every month and we look at these applications. And in these applications, when we look at them, you're applying for maybe a grant, you're applying maybe for a new scholarship to go present in the conference, you're applying for, let's say you need us to fund your thesis work or your dissertation, and you're applying for us to give you money. There are a lot of things you are looking for. And in summary, what we are looking for is, what have you done? We want to know what you have done. Okay, we want us to give you this money. What have you done? Before now, what have you done? We want to see it. What have you done? And I believe it's everywhere. That it cuts across the corporate world. What have you done? Okay, if you have done this, who has benefited from it? Who has benefited from it? Who has benefited from it? We need those informations. And then what has changed? So if you can be, if you're able to sell yourself that way, then I think when you apply for things like this, maybe scholarship, you will just, you find yourself that you are unique in your own way. It distinguishes you from others. So I think I'm gonna stop here because I know time is not on our side. I don't want to keep speaking and speaking and speaking. So let me hand over to the moderator if there are questions. At least let me answer based on questions.
All right, thank you so much for taking out time to really dish out value. Um, I believe every person on this live stream had one or two or three or five or 10 striking things that definitely resonated with them, something they would do better. Emphasis on that reading. One thing, will I call it a Nigerian thing or an African thing, is that we do not read. So you see applications, you don't read in between the lines. What are the requirements? You just jump on it and have faith that, oh, the God that answered by fire, he's my God, he will help me, and they will wave out some of these criteria for me. Don't forget that principles make life predictable. By that's first. Those requirements that they've placed there, it was streamlined to those things because you're looking for certain persons, not just any random person. So you will save your sweat, you will save your data most of the times in these applications if you actually take time to read. Let me know what I'm actually applying for, right? And I trust as we leverage on this knowledge that we've received, we'll be able to do better. So the guest speaker spoke about 6 sources of funding from universities. Most people do not know that university give fundings. But I think to the best of my knowledge, I know university give funding, but some of the times, if not all the time, they do not give full funding. They just give you a partial funding, right? So that's one of the ways to get funding from universities, from government. We've heard a lot about that scholarship, Fulbright scholarship, etc. So if you are looking at leaving the shores of the country for greener pastures or for education or through the education route, you should be in platforms that will give you access to these informations, right? And some of the times you may have to take time to actually study, do your research. Do your research. Don't just wait for someone to share an opportunity to you. You know what you are chasing after, right? If the information is not coming to you, you should source for those informations, right? So not to waste so much time. So we also spoke about foundations, NGOs, professional organizations, companies, people and network. I text some of my colleagues and some interns that I supervise back in the office that your internship is one of the best place you can connect with people who are already in the industry. So these people, how am I going to put it? They are the people who are already living your dreams. Where you ought to be, they are already there. So as you connect with them, make the best use of it. Build reasonable connection. Some people sever relationships by, oh, maybe I've not eaten, I've not done this, that. You should know the difference between friends, right? Know the difference between friends, know the difference between connection, know the difference between family members. So when you know how to categorize these relationships you have, you know where to use each of these relationships. So as not to waste much of our time, I will take highlighting the questions now. So I guess speaker can attend to them, let's say in 2 to 3 minutes, just to be able to manage the time well. So the first question says, you talked about showing evidence in our CV. Let's say you've been involved in several leadership roles, but most of them don't come with certification. Can we still add it to the CV? Okay, so that's the first question. Okay, you can answer that one before I bring up the next question, sir.
Why not? Why not? Add it to your CV. Let me tell you. It's just now that those things are not on my CV anymore. But these are the things I used to come into United States to make my CV more robust. Yeah, those leadership experiences you had, but it, there's no certification to them at the same time also. But one thing is certain, I believe you had people who you led and you had results. So it's just you putting it in your CV in a way whereby when the reviewer is looking at it, the person is seeing impact. Something was done. Oh, either you impacted people, you changed the process, or you streamline the workflow. Let it be that when the reviewer is looking at it, he can see something that shows that, oh, this is not something theoretical, but this person actually did this in practice. So for me, when I started those days, if you look at my CV, I was treasurer in University of Port Harcourt, my department. I will put it there. Oh, I was general coordinator in my campus fellowship. It was on my CV. Oh, I became president of the campus fellowship when I was serving. It was in my CV. Oh, I did this. I went to orphanage for orphanage outreach. I did this. It was in my CV. I spoke at NYC this thing for the. It was in my CV. All these things were there, and I outlined it in a way by when the reviewer is looking at it, you can see the impact. But now, based on the heights God has brought us to, those things are not there again. But I think it's a good foundation. Fix those things in. At least when the reviewer is looking at it, what the person is saying is that, oh, this person, he's looking at it and he can see your past. He can also see your present in it. He can see the future and he can see the impact you are making. I think that's it. So just put it there.
All right, thank you so much for that. So as far as you're doing something reasonable, something that is with the result is measurable, include it in your CV. President Khan, you are really enjoying, sir. We would love to have a taste of what you are enjoying. All right. So in the course of the session, one of the participants was asking if you could set samples. So you were saying you can't really share sample, maybe a grant application or something. But we also appreciate if maybe you can send a sample to us so we can share with the community so we
Okay.
can learn and also leverage on that as a structure or a foundation that others can build on subsequently. So I think
It's okay.
that's basically all it does. Thank you so much. It has been an impactful session, I must say. In fact, anyway, the live stream is available on YouTube, so you can go over it in multiple times, right? There are some things you didn't hear, right? So that's why the live stream is there. You can always go back, replay, jot down those things you may have missed in the course of the session, and most importantly, let it not just end as a head knowledge. Let it transform that knowledge into applied information, right? We would love to hear your success story. We would love to aid you in the process in the best possible way, right? I will look forward to hearing your congratulations testimony. I know recently I was seeing some post on LinkedIn saying I've been select. I think this for this Chevney scholarship thing. I can't keep calm. Yeah, that's the usual. So I can't keep calm. I've been selected, and it's amazing. So most of the times when you see these people, you begin to think, oh, how did they do it? How am I going to do it? What do I need to do? That's why we're here, and that's why we're having this session. So your questions can still come in. Maybe you can send those questions to for those on Inspire Nation. You can send those questions to the Inspire Nation, and we'll collate the questions and send in the answer from our guest speaker. All right, because know some persons may have questions, but we may not know how to really put it together. Yeah. So have another question. Said, must a CV be strictly one page, or it depends? So this will be the last question we'll take as we try to close tonight. He said, must a CV be strictly one page, or it depends?
Okay. The truth is that currently my CV is 5 pages. My CV is 5 pages. Yeah. So whenever, if so, this is where you need to understand. These are things people need to understand also. When to use, because what I do is this, and as I've been living my life. So I have a general CV, and it comprises of everything I've done that I can say, oh, there's a measurable impact. I have a CV like that. So that's like my master CV. So everything I've done in life that I can say, oh, there's an impact. I go there and I fix it. If I achieve something in my leadership journey, I just go there and I will fix it in. So that particular CV now is 5 pages.
Hmm.
If, for instance, I'm looking for scholarship, and then I'm to submit, they say, oh, Nehemiah, submit your CV. I don't streamline my CV. You see this master CV is what I'm going to carry. I'm going to drop. So I'm not saying academic, I'm not saying the scholarship is based for masters or PhD. Let's say scholarship that shows that, oh, maybe let's say the scholarship, the description or the criteria for a scholarship is like, they just want to know what you have done in life. We want to know this person. What have you done in the past? What are you doing now? And what's your where do you see yourself heading based on the future? You see that CV or 5 pages, I will take it and I will drop it. And sometimes it's very difficult. They will just throw me aside. Even if they don't give me anything, they don't want to give me money. Eh? They will say, Neymar, take this $1,400, use and hold road. That's the list. Then there are also times when I want to make an application, let's say job related. I have to now streamline. So now that's not like a CV again. I have to streamline it to a resume based on that particular job. So I go there, the master CV, I pick out important things based on that job and I submit. Now, also, let's say for instance, it's like me now. I've applied, I've involved myself in different programs. In short, I have a PhD admission pending. I told them they should wait. Let me finish this master's now. So in all these applications I've made, I have different CV for them. So I go to my master CV and I bring it out. And so I advise there's no limit to CVs. There's no limit to the number of pages in a CV. There's no limit. So if an academic CV, if you know you have achieved a lot, and everything you're going to put there is not the one that you supported orphanage outreach. You want to put it to there. Your mother sent you to go and buy more. You put it there. It's not that one I'm talking about. It is when like you can see tangible impact and you fix those things and you can see 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages. Please and please see how to streamline it for the fact every information there is accurate. Put it there. I think the application I made for my doctor of public policy, if I remember vividly, that application was my CV there was about I think 3 or 4 pages. 3 or 4 pages. But I can make an application and it's just a page. So it depends. So there's no just ensure that the information you're putting there is something powerful and something impactful. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think that's a wrap for tonight. Thank you so much for excellently attending to the questions. Thank you for being available despite your tight schedule. It wasn't really easy to bring a speaker because of the tight schedule. I know a little of the schedule, and it's really tight. I can assure you. And for him to spare out time to be with us, it's a sacrifice, and we are sincerely grateful on behalf of Leadspiration, on behalf of, let me still represent those coming from Leadspire Institute because I've seen some of them here, and the umbrella body, Leadspire International Limited. We want to say a big thank you to our speaker, soon to be Dr. Khan, right? Or engineer Dr. Khan. Yes, for availing yourself to share this value with us tonight. We are grateful, we are excited, and we'll surely apply the informations, the counsel, the words, the advice that you've given to us, that you've shared with us, and make meaningful use of it. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining the live stream. For those who are supposed to be here but couldn't make it after this call, you can send the message. You can send a live stream to them so they can also learn one or two things from this session. I think at this junction, it's a good place to say good night or good afternoon, depending on where you are watching from. And I wish you a productive week in advance.